Good morning, friends. Welcome to another morning session of Exploring the Ka with host Ra Castaldo. And I want to say thank you for all my new subscribers and for everybody coming to me for oracle readings and to my website and supporting Spiral Radio and here Exploring the Ka. Last night I didn't get a chance to do a video because I had to do several readings, and after a long day at work and then doing readings after I got home, I was falling asleep while I was eating dinner, for Christ's sakes. I mean, it was a really tiring night, so I'm doing a little video clip now before I leave for work, and hopefully I could do another vid tonight. I only have to do one reading tonight, I think like at 8 p.m. So if I get home from work early enough, I'll try to do a vid for you guys. I want to start my Naga series, my Naga files, which they're not going to be in any like chronological order or anything, but I do have the Naga files on my site, themysticalspiral.com, as well. Basically, the term Naga, if you're not familiar with it, is the Vedic or Hindu Sanskrit way of saying serpent. And the Naga or you know, reptilians or reptoids or dragon gods, whatever you want to call them, whatever they, you know, they've been called many names. Even the Anunnaki are related to these beings. They are serpent-like humanoids that are semi-divine in nature. The pure-blooded reptilians, I feel, the Draco, do not have the divine spark like we do. So they have high spiritual technology and are masters of genetic manipulation. But they have manipulated the human, you know, consciousness and the human being. So they made these cross hybrids, you know, where part human, part reptile, you know, so they may have this divine spark, these hybrids, but the true Dracos, the full-blooded Dracos, I don't believe they have the divine spark like we do. So before I leave, I thought it would be a cool little story to let you guys know, if you've never heard of it, is when the Buddha encountered the Naga. And basically when the Buddha arrived on the west bank of the Ganges River, he received a welcoming committee of Naga, you know, and they formed you know, these Naga, even the ones that I had my experience with when I was younger, when I had that out-of-body experience that I've told on some interviews that I've been on, including the one with Rex Bear on Leak Project. I told of the out-of-body experience I had when I was a kid, and I saw these, they looked like Komodo dragons, their face, and their body was, they were walking upright. You know, I didn't see their body, I only saw their Komodo dragon face sticking out of their hood. They were wearing these dark purple hooded robes. And it's interesting because when the Buddha first arrived on the west bank of the Ganges, he was welcomed with a committee of Naga in these robes, in these and hooded robes. And you know, back when I was a kid, I didn't know anything of this story, so it didn't come from my prior knowledge of a story, you know, to influence my consciousness or my mind. I mean, I saw this way before I knew of who the Naga were, or reptilians, or anything like that. So these Naga, they formed a bridge out of their hoods. And the bridge was to provide a dry crossing for the Buddha, for he could cross over to dry land, you know? So there were so many Nagas for just one bridge that they formed 4 bridges. And the Buddha, like, didn't want to let any of these Naga down, and he wanted to, you know, not slight any of them. He wanted them to all feel welcomed and nobody feel left out. So he transformed into 4 Buddhas, so he can cross all 4 bridges at the same time. So he didn't slight any of the Naga because he knew of their temperament, and he knew that they were, you know, afterwards he rested in what they call the Deer Park in Benares, which is where the well of Sheshna is as well. The well of the Naga, which leads to the underground lair of Patala, the one that I had the vision of. So he rested in Deer Park after crossing this bridge and transforming into the 4 Buddha. He rested, and you know, after he rested, this is when he got one of his converts. You know, he there was this Naga called Ilapatra. He was a great Naga, and the Buddha gave, you know, many laws and you know, scriptures to this Naga. And this Naga, Ilapatra, he had 5 monstrous heads and hoods covered over, you know, and like, you know, like a cobra, like a celestial hood, they call it. And it hovered over the whole park, these 5 monstrous heads. And while like his heads hovered over the park, it was so long that his tail ended in Taxila, Taxila, the town, and like 700 miles to the northwest of where they were on Deer Park in Benares. So, in spite of, and this is covered in a book I read too, in spite of the Naga's willingness to see the light from the Buddha really considered them inferior beings who reincarnated from cobras, you know, like reincarnated as cobras, you know, because of their evil karma and their actions in life. And the mighty Ilapatra, you know, he was believed to be an unfortunate one who was doomed to Nagahood for uprooting a tree, a sacred tree. So that ties into even what I was talking about with the walnut tree and Saint Barbatos, who was really an incarnated Goetia demon. And it all ties in together, so I figured it would be cool to tell you guys this story, and you guys can chew on it for a little bit while I head off to work. Spiral out.